Então bora lá sair.
What do you say? Should we get going?
Está na hora?
Let's go.
Look at us. 3 battle-hardened badasses forging into the unknown. This ought to be good. This distress call had to be up a really steep mountain, huh?
Estou mais preocupado com quem é que o fez. Pois. Só podiam ser eles, não é? Não, cabra.
What is that?
What the hell?
Bem. O que é que eles usaram? Ups.
Well, that takes the keg.
O que é que eles usaram para parar aquilo?
Varl, see if there's anything over there.
On it.
Foi a cena deste, não foi?
Check out the battlefield. Let's start with that Zenith. Well, there are obviously more Zeniths than we know about.
Can't believe you fought one of them.
Almost didn't make it. Oh, the snow is dampening the sounds.
Não foi isto? Não foi a arma de dardos do perseguidor que eles usaram? Varl. Depósito generoso. Eu vou levar aquilo se for para ir lá para baixo. Espera, eles derrotaram uma destas máquinas. Nice! Bora lá ver. Rouba-lhe a tecnologia.
Rebels did. It took down our shield.
Mas leva isso que é para podermos usar.
I can access her last communication file, but I'll use my focus to scan the battlefield too.
What about that crazy weapon the Zenith had?
It looked like she can make it
Hello,
clean and go
Verbena?
at will,
What do you have for me?
but it's gone now.
I checked everywhere, still no sign of the asset.
Well, go do your
Can we-
thing. I'll wait here.
What?
Hello, Verbena? What do you have for me?
I checked everywhere, still no sign of the asset. Can we call off this pointless search already?
Let's not forget who let it slip away in the first place. Now, I'd like to see results by nightfall. Do you think you can manage that?
Hold on. I think I see something.
Então a outra está cá.
You done looking around?
Não.
Almost.
Onde é que o asset foi?
The Spectre had instructions to assist recovery of the asset. I wonder what this asset is.
É a outra. Só pode ser a outra. Can I shoot it off? Dá.
Did you look at everything?
Not quite.
O que é que falta? Foi aqui que eles...
I shouldn't leave yet. Not until I'm done looking around.
Oi? Cadáver. Não. What the fuck?
I'll find this in my stash later.
Ah, foi aqui que eles rebentaram.
An Oseram with a focus.
Mais um ali.
Looks like he was sending data on the weapons somewhere else.
No silence.
Weapon's still hot.
Por que é que lhe meteste a mão?
I need to know how it worked. But I'll have to check on it once it's cooled off. Looks like the rebels camped here for a while. Were they watching this area?
Aparentemente.
All right. I think I have an idea what happened here. I better get back to Erend.
Não? E isto? Ainda está quente. Cena que eu não quero deixar.
All right, she who sees the unseen. What did you find out?
This was a carefully planned attack. I found camping gear up there. The rebels must have been staking out this place for at least a few days. They were waiting for the Zeniths to show up. All so that they could test that weapon. The Zeniths have a personal shield that makes them invulnerable, but somehow the weapon got rid of it. The Oseram that was operating it was sending data on it somewhere else. It was probably just a prototype.
I've known tinkers that do that. I'd do a little trial run before breaking out the real thing. Well, I guess it's still a work in progress, if it blew up.
She was searching for something she lost. Her drone had instructions to recover something called the asset.
The asset? Is that the sub-function thing that you said could be here? Eleuthia?
Não.
I'm not sure. Come on, let's go talk to Varl.
Agora deixa-me só ver no mapa onde é que eu estou. Ok. The fuck is that? Trinca-sal? Onde? Espera. Agora sim podemos ir. Agora ele vai deixar cair. Desta vez não é na irmã do Erend.
That's a long way down.
Something tunneled straight down into the mountain.
Uma daquelas
It's
criaturas.
recent.
Whatever it was, it must have been powerful. That Zenith the rebels killed was looking for something called the asset. I don't know what it is, but my guess is it's somewhere down there.
All right, so we head down.
Erend, stay here and stand watch. That Zenith isn't the only one of its kind. I don't want to be caught by surprise if the others show up. Contact us by focus if you see anything.
Okay. Any trouble shows up, I'll call you.
Let's go. Well,
Mas isto é outra instalação de qualquer coisa.
there's some kind of old world ruin down here.
You said the Zeniths have their own backup of Gaia, right?
Yeah, from the proving lab.
So maybe they were after Eleuthia. Found its hiding spot, so it sent the distress signal.
Maybe.
Mas eu acho que... Eu acho que é outra desta. Onde é que... Aqui.
Looks like some kind of data center. We might be able to access the facility systems from that console.
Deitar o transmissor, não há mais nada na sala. Se calhar fiz a asneira de trazer isto cá para baixo. Deve ter o combate lá em cima. Estava a contar vir preparado. Isto é o quê? Nada. Aqui estava a ceninha. Oi?
I've never seen a transmitter like this before. Looks like it's self-destructed.
E isto é que foi o que enviou a mensagem.
This was a Far Zenith research lab. Looks like a lot of data was beamcast from here recently.
Deixa eu
From
ver.
that device nearby.
So Eleuthia's gone? So, exploring another Far Zenith ruin.
At least this one doesn't seem to have giant killer machines.
Or anything you can blow up.
Sim, mas isso é pior. Vamos explorar a parte de cima, que aquilo tem mais um caminho para baixo. Não. Porta aqui em cima. Porta aqui em baixo. Ele fez uma leitura qualquer aqui ainda agora. Porta do bunker. Que eles ainda por cima nem sequer têm direção da missão.
All this stuff. Wonder what they were doing here.
Foda-se, Varl, que susto,
Going
bot.
far Zenith. Probably discovering amazing things. For their own benefit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Diz-me que desce.
Ectogenic chambers. Like the ones I saw inside a Zero Dawn cradle facility.
What were they for?
Deixa eu ver aqui
Remember when I
embaixo.
told you I was made, not born? This is how.
A machine that makes a person. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Era isto? É tal sala. Não sei como é que é de explorar isto, tenho medo de encontrar a cena.
Find anything? Might
Filho!
tell us what the asset is?
I don't think so.
Vocês vão ver aqui primeiro. E agora vou por cima, porque a outra vai dar diretamente à sala de baixo. Este já foi lido, não já? Já. Ok.
This place keeps on going. We better check in that room.
Baús de provisões. parece-me uma sala de combate. Eu vou buscar a arma.
This place is huge. Some kind of storage room, maybe.
Maybe the asset is in here somewhere.
If it is, somehow the Zenith couldn't find it. Let's look around. So, how is Erend taking all of this? Really?
Well, Gaia, the Zeniths, the Focus, it's a lot. But when I caught up to him in the Daunt and said you needed our help, he dropped everything and turned around.
Well, he's loyal. That's for sure.
Onde para agarrar, já vai ver que porrada.
A control console to access the storage units.
Can it tell us if the asset is in one of them?
Well, let's find out.
Já vamos. Dois ali. Isto não é? Dá, vamos lá ativar.
236 containers in storage. Please enter the container number you'd like to retrieve.
236? Wasn't there a number in the distress signal?
237. Não era o que eu achava. E a outra. Acho que era Beta o nome dela. Foda-se, achei aquilo na sala do lado errado.
Aloy. It's you.
Não, é a Beta.
Skin's like ice. Must have cut this from her head. But why?
Para não ser detectada.
Hello, Spit. Apologies, I don't know what else to call you. My name is Beta.
Foi algo de ajuda.
I only have a few minutes before my keepers discover I'm missing, and I still need to remove this implant. I had hoped to find shelter with you, but if you're viewing this, I may be dead. Be careful when you take on Farsiness. They are ruthless, and they have Aletheia, Artemis, and Apollo now. But at least they don't have the Gaia kernel to merge them with. You must succeed, or this was all for nothing. Good luck. And goodbye. So she's
still alive.
Oh, there.
We need to get her back to...
Oh shit, they can fly? Aloy. Aloy, can you hear me through this thing?
What's going on, Erend?
2 of those spectral things just fell out of the sky.
Bora.
One of them is heading down towards you. The other one's waiting up here.
We're coming up. Stay in cover until
Não,
I
ainda
get
bem que
there.
eu fui buscar a
You
arma.
got it.
Get her to cover in that room. Whatever happens, she stays with us.
Como é que eu vou derrotar este
I'll
bicho?
protect her.
Só um segundo. Assim que isto começar.
I should prepare before the Spectre gets here.
Desculpa lá, mas estou com o telefone a tocar, volto já.
I can't let it get through to Varl on the clone. Here it comes! Wasn't enough. Ooh, ugly one, aren't you? Thing's quick. I can keep going. There.
Are you okay, Aloy?
Yeah, I'm heading up top. Stay down here with the clone for now.
Got it. I'll follow once the coast is clear.
Now this is a find.
Aloy!
Erend!
And the Spectre's dug its seals in. It's got me pinned down.
Hang tight, I'm almost there.
Just hurry.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. I gotta get to Erend. Erend, I'm here.
Watch out. That thing's shooting down the center.
Stay put. I'll see what I can do. Too much without ammo.
Yeah! Get the fuse in your eye. Aloy, get out of there! That's the weak spot. Ah, come on! Can't beat Azaram Forge. You need help, Aloy? Look at that thing missing away. Use acid. Corrosive. I'm waiting for you. You need to be more careful. Don't get that stuff on you. I guess we're not going for stealth, Aloy, you okay?
I need more ammo.
Heads up. Let's get some metal. Got his weak spot. Now this is why I came along.
Oh!
Don't get that stuff on you. Let's send you back to the fort. she's... Look, I swear I'm not drunk, but right now I'm seeing double.
Long story, but it'll have to wait.
Ah, boa, esqueci de ligar o som outra vez.
We need to get her back to the base immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Partiu-me aqui a rir com esta do Erend.
You two go on ahead. I need to take another look at that weapon. If I can figure out how that thing works, maybe the Zeniths won't be so invincible after all. No. Damn it.
O que há?
Well, it's better than nothing.
Espera, não havia uma parte também para apanhar ali da máquina?
I need to get the weapon fragment to Gaia to analyze. If we can replicate it, maybe we'll have a way to defeat the Zeniths. I should check on the clone, too. Varl, where's our guest?
We're in the maintenance corridor below the control room.
Okay.
Ok. Deixa eu pôr aqui a próxima.
Welcome back. Aloy, I see we have a new guest. So now we know the origin of the transmission.
Verdade?
Yeah. I also recovered this. The weapon it was part of somehow stripped a Zenith of its shield, but it malfunctioned and blew up. If we can recreate the weapon and improve it, maybe we'll gain the upper hand on the Zeniths.
A moment, I will scan it.
Vê lá se não é uma armadilha.
Complete. By combining the results with data from your focus, I can infer that the weapon was highly advanced, comparable to Zenith technology, but not how it worked.
Did the explosion corrupt the data?
It was only a catalyst. The moment the weapon malfunctioned, it appears a command executed to purge all data within its core. Ostensibly, this was to prevent the weapon's secrets from falling into enemy hands. Whoever designed this weapon knew how to cover their tracks.
Silence.
Pronto.
Based on your data on him, that is my conclusion as well.
And he's not gonna cooperate with us. Well, it was worth a shot. But that's not all. The Zeniths got Aletheia, along with Artemis and Apollo.
That is unfortunate. However, our original plan remains unchanged. The two remaining subordinate functions should increase my heuristic processing density enough to absorb Hephaestus.
Right. One problem at a time.
Não vais meter a outra?
Well, I guess I better check on the clone before I head back out there.
Yes. She retreated to the maintenance corridor directly below us. Varl is with her.
Right. Thanks, Gaia.
Então pera, mas não metemos a outra ou não?
Hey, Gaia. It's me.
Hello, Aloy. Did you wish to continue our discussion?
How's Katalo doing?
I detect that the loss of his arm still deeply pains him, though
Normal.
he has not voiced his thoughts. I may be able to assist in his recovery, should he be interested.
Really? I'm sure he will be. How are things around here?
Zoe has been studying the morphology of her land gods in an effort to understand their sickness. Without the abilities of Hephaestus, I am unfortunately unable to correct their programming. However, Zoe and I are hopeful we will find an alternative way to heal them.
Well, keep at it.
Eu depois falo com eles todos. Vamos
I should be going.
Goodbye, Aloy.
Vamos falar com a outra miúda. Não agarrou.
Aloy,
Bom dia.
glad you made it back okay. She panicked after waking up and stumbled down here. I thought it best to wait for you.
I'll talk to her. Hello?
Eu! Valeu, onde é que andas?
It's Beta, right? My name's Aloy. What's wrong? Is it your injury?
Simulacrum withdrawal syndrome.
I don't understand.
Síndrome de retirada de quê?
Neurologically integrated data device. The brain, especially the cerebellum, goes into a kind of sensory freefall. Everything real feels unreal. Distant.
Is there anything that can help?
Do you have a focus to spare? It's primitive, but I can make it work.
Yeah.
Primitiva é a tua mãe.
Booting up. So, Aloy, I suppose you want information.
About you and the Zeniths? Yeah. Why are they here? What do they want? How did they get you? But let's start at the beginning. I'm guessing they faked the destruction of their ship 1,000 years ago?
That seems consistent with their behavior. They wouldn't want to be followed.
So far, Zenith established a colony world after all.
Yes, for a few hundred years, but it didn't last. Some sort of natural disaster rendered it uninhabitable.
Okay, so the descendants of Far Zenith escaped a dying planet, and now they want to claim Earth for themselves?
Not their descendants.
What?
Not their descendants. It's them. The same ones who left Earth 1,000 years ago. You didn't know.
Como? Como?
How can they still be alive? They don't even look... What did they do to themselves?
I believe it's a combination of pharmaceutical, cellular treatments, and technological implants.
And you...
Eles reclonaram-se,
I'm
não
not
é?
like them. I was made. On the way to Earth. On the ship. I spent years studying in my training interface, so that I could serve my function.
Access and control of the terraforming system. But why? What do the Zeniths want with it?
When I discovered the Zero Dawn system had disseminated into its subcomponents, I thought my purpose was to fix it. But I don't think the Zeniths want that at all. I think they want to wipe Earth clean and start over.
Pois.
So the Zeniths want to exterminate life on Earth. That's what Gaia and I concluded too. But why? Why kill everyone just to take over?
When they took me on missions with them, I saw how they butchered the tribal people we encountered. They didn't seem to care about a rejuvenated Earth, so I concluded that they must want a hard reboot of the system. Then they can redesign it to be exactly what they want.
Mass extinction for their own comfort? Who thinks like that? Well, without their Gaia kernel, they'll have a hard time doing that. The Zeniths needed Elizabeth's gene print to access Zero Dawn facilities. So they made you. Trained you. And you went along with it?
They told me I was born to interface with the Zero Dawn system. When we reached Earth, I pieced together what must have happened to Gaia and her subordinate functions. That's when I started to realize I wasn't meant to fix Gaia. That they must have made me so I could do what their remote extinction signal failed to do. Reboot Earth for their own benefit.
So you know about the extinction signal?
Sim, foram eles que lançaram a filha.
But
The only logical conclusion why Gaia suddenly self-destructed after operating efficiently for centuries. Gaia would have only undertaken such a desperate course of action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth that was more dangerous than ceasing function altogether. I should have realized that she would also order the recreation of Elizabeth Sobek to rebuild her.
Yeah, well, surprise. So we're dealing with the same Far Zenith people who once lived on Earth. What else do you know about them?
They were some of the most affluent and powerful people on Earth. They controlled almost every major resource, every industry. Gerard commands them. He's the one who decided to set up a base. The others, Eric, Tilda, Verbena, they resent his authority over them, but in the end, they always do what he says.
Eric. He's the one I fought back in the Hades Proving Lab.
He enjoys hurting people.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned the Zenith set up a base here on Earth. Where is it?
Off the coast, I think. Whenever I had to go on missions, I was transported inside of a spectro drone. I couldn't see anything outside. But I did overhear the Zeniths talking about it once. They were discussing setting up a perimeter energy shield to repel the local fauna. I'm certain they have other security measures. Spectre patrols, machine lures. It must be impregnable.
What's inside the base?
Launch facilities, so they can shuttle back and forth to their ship in orbit. Plus infrastructure to gather materials and fabricate anything they need.
Are there more Zeniths than the ones you met?
I'm not sure. I suppose there must be more of them in the base or back on the ship. For all I know, there could be more of them out in space, other survivors of the colony.
You said the Zenith's colony in the Sirius system was destroyed. What happened?
All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave Sirius. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object or a cataclysmic seismic event. Or maybe
eles lixaram aquilo tudo?
violent coronal mass ejection from Sirius A.
The Zeniths never told you any details.
They said the only thing that mattered was that they survived. First Earth, 1,000 years ago, and then Sirius.
Guess they survived old age, too. How did you escape the Zeniths?
Before the Hades Proving Lab, I never thought I'd get away from them. Even if I were to run. I'd never survive on my own in the wilds. But then I saw you. And I thought that maybe you could help me. So when the Zeniths pinpointed Eluthia's location in the biomedical research facility, I saw an opportunity.
You said you saw an opportunity to escape when you went to capture Eluthia. What did you do, exactly?
Whenever I was taken out on a mission to recover a subordinate function, only one of the Zeniths would go with me.
The one the rebels killed, outside the facility.
Verbena's dead? How did they bypass her shield?
I'm looking into it. But you were talking about your escape?
Well, when it was time to use the Zenith's transmitter to send Eluthia back to base, I also sent the encrypted transmission. Then I distracted Verbena long enough to seal myself in the ectogenic chamber, altering the facility's log so it appeared that there were only 236 containers.
And the Gaia root kernel?
I told them I could capture Eluthia faster if I had it with me, and they believed me.
Well done. You said you were born on the way to Earth. In an artificial womb, I'm guessing?
The Zeniths had an ectogenic chamber aboard the ship. An updated version of the one you found me in. They must have used a stored sample of Elizabeth's DNA.
I doubt Elizabeth would have let them take her DNA. Do you know how they got it?
That wasn't part of the archive I was allowed to access.
You said you spent years studying in a training interface.
Elas têm o coisa,
Archive you mentioned
o
part of
Apollo.
that?
É o Apollo.
Only the parts I was permitted to access. Aristotle and Aspasia, the avatars of the archive, would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress.
Wait, those names.
É,
They were designed to be the virtual guides for the Apollo database.
exato.
Before Ted Faro purged it.
The Zeniths have a copy.
So it still exists. And
you got to learn from it. Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameters, my tutors would deny it.
To have all that knowledge, just out of reach, must have been frustrating. All right, I think that's enough for now. Do you want to come upstairs, or...
So how long? You know, your plan. How long before Gaia's fabricated a machine army to defeat the Zeniths?
How did you know?
Optimal strategy, so?
Well, I still have to get 2 more subordinate functions before Gaia's powerful enough to absorb Hephaestus.
What? You don't have Hephaestus already?
Gaia's still figuring out how to capture it. It's not confined to a single... To a single location, of course not!
No, filha.
You didn't even know who the Zeniths really are.
You were supposed to be further along by now. Coming here was a mistake. They're gonna find me. They're gonna find this place and take me back. This was all for nothing.
Ai, que coisa.
Gaia's using Minerva to mask our location.
What difference does it make?
You're too far behind. We're never going to beat them. Everything. Everyone. They're gonna die. Hey. Calm down. You're here now, right? So is there anything you can do to help?
I have certain knowledge sets. And given your state of progress, expertise you probably lack. Geoengineering, of course. Computer science, physics, biology, chemistry.
Okay. Well, see if you can do something with that. Talk to Gaia. I'll check on you later.
Tu clone é bocado de cabra.
How'd it go?
Her injury's not that bad, but I think she regrets coming here. Feeling might be mutual.
I'll come back later and talk to her. See if I can learn anything.
So I guess we won't be making use of Silent's weapon. And now there is another clone of Elizabeth here with us. But I can't let it distract me. I still have 2 more sub-functions to get.
Uma missão aqui.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Ela tem uma missão para mim. Bom som.
You want to talk some more?
Creio que queria, mas já estás.
I should go.
Back to studying it is.
Espera, para trás. Ainda falta acabar de falar com a... Gaia. Gaia, vais morrer!
Hello again, Aloy.
Como é que é?
Hey, Gaia. Me again.
Welcome back, Aloy. Where shall we resume?
Vamos começar com o velho mundo.
So this facility, the Regional Control Center, it was meant to oversee the terraforming system?
For the local region, yes. Had humans received their education from the Apollo database, they would have then been guided here to assume operation. As that never happened, this place remained vacant.
Until Minerva decided to settle here. So I guess this room was meant to keep an eye on conditions outside?
Yes. From here, the facility's operators would have been able to observe weather and machine activity in real time. It may be possible to restore more of this room's functionality should you find and reconnect additional camera feeds.
I'll keep a lookout. So the Hades Proving Lab, where I found the Gaia kernel, it used to be a Pharaoh research facility?
Yes. Prior to appropriation by Zero Dawn, the facility was used to engineer and test advanced computer viruses. It appears to have been one of many research initiatives by Pharaoh Automated Solutions.
I guess it wasn't enough to build automated killing machines. He wanted viruses to infect them with too.
Isso foi só isso.
So, a while back, before the battle at Meridian, I went into Banuk territory. I discovered another AI there. One not related to Zero Dawn.
Cyan.
Cyan.
Yeah.
It was created to oversee
Isto é o
operations
DLC.
for a volcanic stabilization project. And it spent the last 1,000 years in isolation. I'm guessing you didn't know about it?
No. From the data on your focus, it seems that Cyan was cut off from the outside world. An effort by its creators to protect it from the Pharaoh Plague.
Any chance it could help us now?
I have already attempted contact, with no success. Given its previous experience with accepting an outside network request, I imagine it is unwilling to do so again.
Right. Because last time Hephaestus enslaved it. Well, that's too bad. I think the two of you would have had a lot to talk about.
Mhm.
The processor Ether was installed on was part of an ancient war museum. A memorial to something called the Hot Zone Crisis. Do you know anything about it?
My knowledge of historical events was unfortunately lost with the Apollo database. However, climate data indicates a peak in regional temperatures in the 2030s. Such conditions would see extreme, prolonged droughts, an increase in dust storms, and a loss of habitable landmass.
But they wouldn't have built a museum in the middle of a wasteland. So I guess things got better eventually.
Yes. Data suggests that temperatures returned to average levels in the clawback era of the 2040s.
There was an ancient tank embedded in the bulwark, buried under a bunch of boulders. Any idea how it got there?
During the Pharaoh Plague, the US military resumed the use of human combatants, as automated machinery was unreliable. It is possible the vehicle was part of a pre-automated war fleet.
So they fought against the Pharaoh machines in the valley, until the mountain was blasted apart and buried them. When we were at the facility where we found Beta, there were records that said Far Zenith were researching embryogenesis. I know they traded their ectogenic chambers to Zero Dawn, but why were they researching it in the first place?
At this point, we can only speculate. Perhaps at one time they meant the Odyssey to be a colony ship, necessitating such technology. As their goals evolved over time, so did their areas of research.
So they got more selfish as the risks of staying on Earth kept rising. Gaia? What was Elizabeth like?
Her presence is interwoven with my memories. The moment I came online, she was there. We exchanged greetings, names, then set to our task. It was the first of many conversations. I enjoyed being in her company, listening to her stories. She was my creator, my guide.
Your friend?
Yes. When I reviewed the data on your focus, I was saddened to learn of her fate.
É, nós encontramos-la no
She
fim.
made it home.
No fim do primeiro jogo.
I wish she did not
Base.
have to be alone.
She was okay with that. She gave all of herself. The only one who could. Thanks, Gaia. So, Project Zero Dawn. The greatest minds in the world, all working to build the terraforming system while the Pharaoh Plague devoured the planet. What was it like?
Personnel worked in rotations, at all hours of the day. Resources and technology were secured from across the world. Within a month of the project's conception, I was launched and began my education. Elizabeth encouraged me to spend time with the rest of the Zero Dawn staff. She said it was important to experience many personalities and perspectives to aid in my emotional development.
What were they like?
Scared, hopeful, determined. They were hurtling toward technological achievements on a scale never before attempted. I owe everything to their dedication.
Ora bem.
Varl and Zoe seem to like spending time together.
Indeed. While studying Old World data, Zoe discovered references to a dietary lifestyle known as vegetarianism. She appreciated the similarities with Utaru practices and encouraged Varl to try out this lifestyle.
And how did that go?
I believe they have agreed to disagree.
Está a ver.
How's Erend handling things?
He is becoming increasingly accustomed to use of the focus after an initial incident.
What did he do?
He unfortunately crushed his first focus as he attempted to affix it to his temple. Amongst a number of Oseram curses, I believe he also blamed the focus for being dainty. He has given repeated assurances that it will not happen again.
Mas depois meteu na cerveja também.
So, I guess Beta's here to stay. I gave her a focus. Told her to talk to you to see if she can help. She's not what I expected.
What were you expecting?
No ti
I
próprio.
don't know. Someone more helpful, I guess. And less pessimistic.
It is true she overestimated our progress. However, it is also worth noting that her confidence in your abilities emboldened her to escape the Zeniths.
I guess so.
Give her time. She may yet come around.
Vamos ver.
Beta believes the Zeniths want to use the terraforming system to wipe out life on Earth. Start over, so they can build it how they want. But why? Given their technology, they could wipe out the tribes of the world by easier means. And if they're the same people who left Earth 1,000 years ago, wouldn't they want the biosphere to be as it was?
It is likely they adjusted to different planetary conditions in their colony on Sirius. They may be trying to recreate that environment here.
Turning Earth into a new Sirius. Their own personal playground. So the Zeniths are the same people who left Earth. Physically immortal. How'd they figure it out?
Reclonam-se,
From what we know of Far
provavelmente.
Zenith, it is plausible that prominent geneticists and engineers were offered a place aboard the Odyssey in exchange for their expertise. Given enough time, technology, and resources, any challenge can be overcome.
Like how Minerva eventually generated the deactivation codes for the Pharaoh Plague.
Exactly.
The Zeniths. Gerard, Eric, Tilda, Verbena. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on Earth. Do you know anything about them?
Não tens registro, só o que vai dizer.
Unfortunately, no.
Bem parecia.
My personal database is limited to those who worked on Zero Dawn. Additionally, it appears Far Zenith was quite secretive about their members. Only one, Oswald Dalgard, was ever publicly known.
Right. He was the spokesperson back at their old launch facility.
What we can conclude from your and Beta's experiences is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit of their goal. To protect life on Earth, they must be stopped.
Yep.
The extinction signal didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the partial sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
A signal that precise would require thorough knowledge of the system. How could the Zeniths know that?
From the records on your focus, it appears Far Zenith had an informant during the development of Zero Dawn.
Hank Shaw. He was supposed to steal a copy of the system for Far Zenith, but Elizabeth and Travis Tate caught him first.
Yes. It is likely Far Zenith acquired knowledge on the system's design through him, despite his failure.
So from what Beta told me, I guess we can assume the Zenith's technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
Yes. As your encounters with them amply demonstrate, they appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be some kind of protective energy field that shields them from harm.
They seemed indestructible, but that weapon the rebels used stripped their shield somehow.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. While we lack the anti-shielding weapon, were I to absorb Hephaestus and utilize it to create a large force of combat machines, no shielding could withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
How did you figure out that the extinction signal came from Sirius?
The key came with data on your focus, from Silent's interrogation of Hades. The duration of the signal itself, 17.22 years.
That doesn't make sense. You said that the signal took 8.6 years to arrive from Sirius. Why would the signal keep transmitting after it was received and you blew yourself up?
Because the sender didn't know that had happened until it received notice from Hades.
Which would take another 8.6 years to get back.
Correct. Only then would the sender stop broadcasting, after a total of 17.22 years. So the duration, halved, gave me the distance the signal traveled. With that in mind, I simply scanned my astronomical database for any relevant location 8.6 light-years away. Because it was Far Zenith's intended destination, Sirius was the only logical source.
Tá bem.
You mentioned that the superstorms have subsided. Is that Ether at work?
Yes. Thanks to Ether's capabilities, weather patterns in the local region should mostly stabilize for the time being.
Well, that's a relief. Be nice not to have to fight my way through a storm anymore.
I will continue to stabilize the atmosphere for as long as I can.
Mudou de cor? Não. Deixa eu ver outra vez.
Why did Ether take up residence in an ancient war museum?
As with the other subordinate functions, Ether needed to install itself on a processor with adequate storage and power. One in the museum appears to have been sufficient, given that the holographic displays were still active.
So Ether was assured it could stay for as long as it needed to.
Correct. Though it is curious that it chose a place surrounded with the ancient ruins of aircraft.
Maybe it also felt at home there.
Já mudou, não te mudou?
What can you tell me about Demeter?
Demeter sows, fertilizes, and tends to plant life.
So once I bring it back, all the blight out there will start to get better.
While permanent restoration requires the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to improve conditions in the region for a while. However, A word of warning. Like Ether and Poseidon, Demeter's response to my query was highly irregular. Alone and frightened, it may have taken measures to assure its security.
Okay, I'll keep my guard up.
Ok.
So, Poseidon, what do we know about it?
Poseidon controls the organic and chemical composition of water resources. Once it is restored to me, I may be able to improve conditions in the regional watershed. But I must warn you, like the others, Poseidon is lost and frightened. It may have taken measures to protect itself.
I'll be careful.
Disseste a mesma coisa da outra.
You said you need Hephaestus to save life from extinction. Why?
Every subordinate function has value, but Hephaestus is by far the most important. Only by recovering and merging it can I regain my ability to design and mass-produce new machines at cauldrons across the planet. Only through it can I program new machines and alter the tasking of existing machines to completely reverse environmental damage. Recovering other subordinate functions may buy us time, but without Hephaestus, I cannot permanently stave off mass extinction.
Given Hephaestus's importance, is there really no way to capture and merge it
Não,
now?
porque ela precisa ter mais força.
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. In my present state, I am operating at less than 30% of my intended processing capacity. Hephaestus still exceeds this figure. Were an attempt made to conduct the merge under these circumstances, Hephaestus would absorb me, rather than the other way around. A merge cannot be attempted until my heuristic processing density exceeds its own.
Ok.
How many more subordinate functions is that gonna take?
Merging Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon will expand my heuristic network to 41.6% capacity, exceeding that of Hephaestus.
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Provavelmente estão na
Continents
Fardine.
rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Faro.
Pharaoh, huh? I really hate that guy.
Understandable. He appears to have been pathologically narcissistic, impulsive, and unstable.
Então
All
isso,
three of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were
então isso foi o Faro.
prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
Isso foi o Ted Faro a juntar-se a estes gajos.
Restoring elements would increase my heuristic processing density, empowering my overall function. Unfortunately, as we now know they are in the possession of Far Zenith, attaining them in the short term is very likely impossible.
I guess our best shot at recovering them is by taking over the Zenith base. But we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch of combat machines to do that.
Correct.
You said Hephaestus isn't located in just one place.
Correct. Unlike the other subordinate functions, which are confined to discrete physical processors, Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons.
So, when the time comes to subdue it, how do we make that happen?
I do not know. While you are retrieving the procurable subordinate functions, I will attempt to find a solution.
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So you could build an army of machines. Attack the Zeniths and take them out.
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of a Festus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the far Zenith threat, doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
Ok. Tá tudo.
See you later, Gaia.
Until next time.